Hi everyone, this video is going to be a swatch and first impressions review of Sephora's new limited edition Duo Reflex eyeshadows. And these are available in 6 limited edition new shades, and they retail for $13 each. They go out of stock intermittently, so don't be too afraid if you see them temporarily out of stock on the site. They should be restocked shortly, and just keep an eye out. I will put a link in the description box below to Sephora and specifically where you can purchase these eyeshadows. And as always, please go to allurabeauty.com to see the written review after I've fully tested all of these shades. I will also put that link in the description box below for you to see. For the purpose of this video, I will swatch the colors for you so that you can really see truly how they look and how they apply on the skin when swatched. And if you haven't seen my most recent video, I will link it here for you to see. Make sure to go check it out. And I hope that you're subscribed to the channel so that you can not only be eligible for the giveaways that I host, but so that you don't miss out on videos like this. Alright, let's get to swatching these colors. So this is what the shadows look like. They come in individual pots, and you may be able to see the little divots that are in each pan or next to each pan. You can put a little toothpick in there or a needle or just something small, and you can actually remove these pans and put it in a palette if you wish, or of course you can keep them in these single pans. We can also see that each pan is embossed with this sort of mermaid or fish scales design. And the description for these eyeshadows are that they're supposed to have this duo reflect effect. So they're kind of supposed to flash a couple of different colors. So the first shade we have here is Iridescent Shell, Sirens Charm, Mermaid Tail, Stormy Seas, Hidden Treasure, and Seahorse. As I always do with eyeshadow swatches, I'm going to do this over primer, starting with Iridescent Shell. This one has a silver flash with an undertone that has a hint of grayed lilac. So you have a duo of silver and a hint of purple. Next is Sirens Charm, which is this deep, slightly grayish purple with some silver flash. And this shade up close has little specks of both gold and multicolored shimmer, so sort of like rainbowed shimmer. I'm going to add just a little more color to this. Next is Mermaid Tail, which is very multidimensional. It has tones of purple, blue, and green in it. So the base looks more like a grayed purple, very similar to the previous color, and then it flashes this green blue. Next here is Stormy Seas, which is a blue that has flashes of purple in it. And similar to Sirens Charm, Stormy Seas, when you look up close, has these specks of multi-dimensional rainbowed shimmer particles. Here's Hidden Treasure, which is like a moss green with a gold flash. And last up is Seahorse, which is more like a Concord grape purple. It's a deeper purple underneath and flashes a lighter and brighter purple. And like with the other two shades, I can tell that this also has those specks of multi-dimensional shimmer in it. Okay, so here are your Duo Reflex shades by Sephora up close, just over bare skin and non-colored primer. Now, I did pick up a good amount of the product on my brush just to try to get the most even application. So they don't have the smoothest or creamiest formula or anything like that, but For shades that are this shimmery and glittery, I think they do a pretty nice job of giving you an even layer of color on the skin. I'm particularly impressed by this first shade because it has the largest shimmer particles and is the most glittery, I would say, and yet it has a very smooth formula. Usually shades that have this type of glitter in it and this numerousness of glitter, they go on pretty patchy, but this one is pretty smooth. Of all the 6 shades, the smoothest one is this green shade here by far, or not by far, I mean by a good amount. And you do get sort of a little bit of patchiness and dryness with some of these other shades, but nothing that can't be evened out with some blending and layering. Now you're probably thinking, what the heck am I seeing in front of me? But I wanted to put these over a black base for you just to see how that might change what sort of color is emphasized or brought out in each of the shades, especially when you have colors, shadows that have a reflect or a duochrome nature to them. It can really change the look and the finish of the shadow just depending on what kind of color you put underneath it. So just so that you can get an idea, I wanted to try these out over a black base. So again, we're going to start with the same colors. We're going to first swatch Iridescent Shell. Now over a black base, this still looks predominantly silver to me. You can kind of see a purple undertone to it, but I suspect if you put it over a purple base, the lilac would stand out a little more. Here is Sirens Charm. Get this deep eggplant purple. Here's Mermaid Tail. Looks more blue against a black background. Don't get as much of the green or purple tone in there. Here's Stormy Seas. I guess next to Mermaid Tail, this looks much more blue. Mermaid Tail actually looks more green, just in comparison. Here's Hidden Treasure. Get that same kind of olivey green or moss green. And here is Seahorse. Get a nice richer purple here when you put it over a black base. Okay, so up close, these are what the shades will look like and what kind of finish you'll get if you put it over a black or dark base. They seem to be more smooth when you apply them over a base like this, which is to be expected because you're already kind of putting a color down underneath to smooth out the opacity and also to give the shadow something to stick to. But the color changes were not as dramatic as they could be with sort of other shades. So in comparison to just swatching it over your skin, maybe not as dramatic of a shift or change in terms of the actual color that you get that I sort of expected, but you do get a slightly different finish to them. So hopefully that was interesting and useful to you. Okay, so there you have Sephora's Duo Reflect eyeshadows. I hope that this was helpful to you if you were interested in purchasing any of these colors. I know that a couple of the shades, the images that are on Sephora, are a little misleading. I was surprised by a couple of them when I saw what the shadows actually looked like in person. So I think this is a particular product that is helpful to see swatched live and to see genuine photos of how the colors actually look. So I hope this was helpful to you if you were interested in purchasing any of these. Please give the video a thumbs up if it was helpful to you. Let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts are, and tell me if you have any initial reaction to what your favorite color is. I think my favorite shade of the 6 is probably Stormy Seas, which was that blue shade, but share with me what you think is your favorite shade in the comments below. Thanks for taking the time to watch, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Skin tones, but this one has the exact same fabulous formulation, and for $6 you can't beat the value given the amount of product that you get. So if you are a golden toned gal or a tan person or someone with nice deep rich skin tones, this might be a fabulous choice for you. And I just want to mention that I used very small amounts of this product on my face. I used a very